And finally, we have the next in Warren's series of highlights from Talkback.
We continue now with our theme of highlights from Talkback. In our last installment, which was installment 19, we talked about the swiping left. Today, however, we'll be talking about the one finger back and forth movement. I will be using my Pixel 5a running Android 12 and Talkback 12.1. For speech services, I'll be using the Google Speech Services. I am on the home screen now, and since my phone supports the multi-finger gestures, I will utilize the three-finger tap to activate the Talkback menu. I will now tap once with three fingers to invoke the Talkback menu.
Talkback menu. Actions in list.
Tapping with three fingers places me in the Talkback menu. What I'm looking for, however, is an item in this menu called Talkback Settings. This is the second to the last item in this menu. I will therefore put my two fingers in the middle of the phone and then slowly glide up, which means I'm scrolling down toward the bottom and find and tap on that Talkback Settings.
Talkback settings.
Here I go. I will tap here.
Talkback settings. Navigate up button out of list.
Tapping on Talkback Settings, we are now in the Talkback Settings. The next item that we're looking for is an item that says Customize Gestures. Once again, I'll put two fingers in the middle of the phone and scroll it upward, which scrolls down the page. I will now do that.
Customize gestures.
Here is my Customize Gestures. I'll tap here.
Customize gestures. Navigate up button out of list.
I am now in the customization page of the gestures. The heading that we're looking for here is a heading that says one finger back and forth movement. I will now put my fingers down again in the middle of the phone and slide up, basically scrolling down the page to go find the heading that says one finger back and forth movement. I will do that now.
Showing items 3 to 12 of 54. One finger back and forth heading.
Here is my one finger back and forth heading. The first item below this that we'll be looking at is the up and down that moves me to the previous item.
Swipe up then down, previous reading control.
In other words, if I swipe up and down in one fluid movement, a movement that I oftentimes refer to as a scrubbing movement, that would move me to the previous granularity. So for example, if I'm sitting on the line granularity and I want to go back to the previous granularity, which would be paragraph or word granularity, then I'll swipe up and down to change or move to that next granularity. I will go through this circle so that you see what I'm talking about. I'll now swipe up and down.
Words.
It says word. Now, if I want to go back to the previous one, I will now swipe down, then up.
Lines.
See, that moves me back to line. So if I want to just go through all of that until I come back around, all I have to do is up and down, up and down. It will take me through all of those. And watch what I do. I'm going to go up, down, up, down.
Words. Characters. Speech rate. Windows. Links. Controls. Headings. Paragraphs. Lines. Words.
I'm back to words. So you see, it takes me a longer time doing it up, down, instead of if I want to go to the previous one, I'll just do down, up. So if I want to go back to line, I'll do down and up.
Lines.
And that's how it works. You now know how to go about changing your granularities using the back and forth movement. Of course, you can always change these things to something else that you prefer. You do not have to use this up and down if you wanted to use something like left and right instead. Of course, you could go change that and reassign these things to a left and right, one fluid movement or scrubbing movement for changing of these granularities. And that's it about the one finger back and forth in changing our granularity.